What's up guys, Grandmaster Igor Smirnov is here, and today I'd love to share with you a simple winning attacking plan for white, which you can use in virtually any kind of d4 openings, but it's especially useful if you're playing the London system. Right, and to illustrate this, we're gonna see the game between Andrew Tang, Grandmaster playing white, against Hikaru Nakamura playing black. So Andrew starts off with the move bishop f4, and here it enters the London system. Hikaru responds with a standard play, and so let's skip through the first few moves, and let me start right here. Okay, so that's the first useful moment I think to pay attention to. Whenever I analyze games of students, I see that typically they tend to do something about this. Whenever they see this kind of an opposition, they feel obliged, to do something, whether to trade here or maybe to retreat back to g3, but they feel obliged to do something. And one useful piece of advice here is that you may actually avoid doing anything about that, because notice that the bishop is already defended. And what white here played is a simple move pawn c3, continuing to build their pyramid of pawns, and white isn't scared of this exchange. In fact, black did not trade there on f4, because if black did, then after this exchange, now we have full control over this e5 square. In the future, our knight is going to jump there, and white has no problems, and he didn't lose any time. You just played a useful development move, and life's cool. And just for a second, let me switch over to another position which arises from the first move pawn e4, and it's kind of something very similar to lots of common openings. And let's say in some position like that, black goes bishop e6, challenging your bishop over here. Again, usually white either takes here or goes back, but what you can do now is basically nothing, right? You can just continue your development with the move something like knight to c3, and if black wants to trade off, fine. You actually now have more space along the d-file. You have this excellent d5 square for your knight in the future. If you're ever worried about your double pawns, which basically there is no reason to be worried, but in the future, as if your knight jumps there on the d5 at some point, I'm not saying you're going to do this right here, but just to illustrate the point, if black recaptures, you're going to recapture with your pawn, and now your pawn structure will be ideal. So basically, that's how you can handle this thing, and that's just a little but still very useful piece of advice. All right, let's come back to the game we're analyzing and the winning plan that I'm about to share with you. So white here played pawn c3, and black responded queen c7, putting more pressure over this bishop on f4 over here. So white finally decided to trade here, and here we're entering the critical point of the position. I'm pretty sure that a lot of London players would simply play something like bishop d3, continuing their development. And while there is nothing terribly wrong with this move, that doesn't give white really any advantage. If let's say white played this move, which he didn't in the game he played a stronger option, but just to illustrate why bishop d3 isn't that strong, black would just continue with knight c6, and at some point would push in the center with the move pawn e5, gaining initiative. And basically, in any kind of positions of London, if black pushes this pawn forward in the center, usually it means that black is at least getting an equal game, and very often they're actually obtaining an upper hand. And if you are familiar with the London system, by the way, I'll link my video with the basic explanation of the basic ideas, plans, etc., so you may check this out later. In the actual game, in order to prevent this, white played the move knight e5, which enters this critical plan that I'd love to share with you. In case you can, bring your knight to e5 in d4 kind of openings, that enables a very strong middle game attack, and it's not very clear right now how this knight on e5 can help you do so, but we'll see that in just about a moment. Black simply castled, and now white continue with their traditional development, bishop d3, pawn b6. Black wants to play bishop a6 and eliminate this powerful bishop, so white played queen e2 to prevent this. Now white is controlling this square, but black insists. Black goes pawn a5. Now the rook is getting involved, and black is ready to play bishop a6 anyway, so white says, okay, you're welcome to do so. Black goes bishop a6, and now after this exchange, white played another critical point of his plan, the move pawn to f4, which serves a number of purposes actually. First of all, it solidifies this knight on e5, so that black really never can hope to push this pawn forward or to get rid of this knight anyhow. And secondly, it also has a few supplementary ideas, which is a part of your attacking plan, and we're going to see this in just about a moment. Black played a4, trying to seek some counterplay on the queen side, and now rook f3. So thanks to this pawn advancement, now we've got this rook lift to the king side. It can go either to h3 or g3. In both cases, it's going to attack opponent's king, and that is really cool. Black played a3, trying to counterattack there, then knight to c7, rook h3. Now rook takes aim at this pawn on h7. Black played rook c8, saying, hey, Right now there are no threats, so let me try to create some threats along the c-file. And white just goes pawn g4, which is another cool thing behind pushing your pawn f4 that kind of starts off your pawn assault on the king side, and you actually may push this pawn forward. It may seem a little bit risky because it opens up your own king here on g1, but because the position in the center of the board is closed thanks to your pyramid of pawns, there is really no way for black to take advantage of that, and you are free to start this pawn assault. It's simple and effective. Black anticipated the move pawn g5 and played knight d7 himself, but white played g5 anyway. And now the threat is rock solid, queen h5, queen takes h7, checkmate. Black played g6, trying to stop the queen from jumping over there, but the queen says, hey, I can just make this lift from the g4 square. So he played queen g4, aiming for queen h4, queen h7, still the same checkmate and threat. And you may see that even Hikaru Nakamura, a strong grandmaster playing black, was really not sure what to do but against this attacking plan. It's simple, but very effective. He played pawn h5, trying to close the h-file at least, because after white takes en passant, which he did here, g takes h6, at least the h-file is closed and white cannot checkmate black there. But of course, that's not the end of the story, because still black's king is completely exposed and white has pretty much, all of his pieces lining up against it. Therefore, black is definitely in big danger. Black played knight f6, trying to bring back the knight to defense. Now pawn h7, offering this pawn sacrifice. Of course, black cannot take it. He played king h8. If black tried to be greedy and capture the pawn, then after queen h4, there is no defense against checkmate along the h-file, so that clearly is not an option for black. Hikaru played king h8 and now queen g5, attacking this knight on f6. Black played knight c to e8, trying to defend it, and there were many ways for white to continue his attack. He played a calm move king h1, getting ready for his queenside rook to be involved into the attack and preparing for rook g1. Black played knight e4, trying to somehow trade off some pieces at least, but rook g1 anyway, and now really all of the white's pieces are taking aim at black's king and black is defenseless. Nakamura played knight g7, trying to bring up reserves and keep more pieces closer to his king. Now white played queen f6, and well, that prepares for a lot of attacks actually. Queen d8, and here in the game white chose a simple move knight takes f7, which wins the exchange, wins the pawn, and obviously wins the game. In fact, after knight takes f7, which forks the king and queen, forcing black to give up the exchange, here Hikaru resigned within a few moves because white has a strong material advantage, and of course he's ready to take here and attack the knight, etc. But in fact, white missed a more beautiful way to finish off the game, and actually it was a stronger way. So let this be our puzzle of the day. If you can find the move stronger than what white played in the game, please write it down in the comments below. If you'd like to check out the video that I mentioned previously with key ideas, concepts, plans about the London system, you may click over there. And if you want to elevate your positional understanding overall and know how to find proper middle game plans in different openings, then you may attend my free masterclass by clicking the link up there. Thank you very much. Take care.